we're going to open up our new frame design, and I have already turned those off. So these parts that we created last time, if they're still on, go ahead and turn those off. We don't want it to be distracting. And we're going to go up here to these sketches, and we're going to turn those off as well so they don't keep popping up. We can leave the sweep, we can leave the shell, but the sketches, we don't want those popping up as we're working on the new ones. We might get confused on what we've created. We're going to go to front view. So now in front view, we're going to create a center point circle. So let's go up here, create a new sketch, and we want to select the plane that we're going to be working from. We're going to select center point circle. We're going to come down here and we're going to drag this out. Now this part's going to be a little bit larger, so I left click to stop that process. I'm going to go ahead and hit escape just to make sure it doesn't expand another circle. And we're going to go up and find our tool, our dimension tool. So there it is right here. Left click, come down and highlight the diameter of the circle, left click again, draw out, and we're going to set this at 1 inch. So let's close this one out to our top plane here. We're going to create a line. So we're going to create a new sketch, select the plane that we're in. We're going to go to the line tool. We're going to draw this out. Now we need a right angle. So left click in the center of the plane, draw that out, and then left click again, drawing it across, and then left click, and if you draw out the mouse, it looks like it's creating another line. Hit escape, go up to the dimension tool, set our dimensions. So this is going to be the base of our right angle, so the connection we're making. And we're going to double click on the inches. We're going to set that at 2 inches for that first line. We're going to highlight the second line, left click, draw it out. Oops, and if it doesn't, there I accidentally clicked twice. So I'm going down, I'm holding the left click button, and I'm drawing that square out, or rectangle, and again 2 inches. So now we have a 2 by 2 line, and we need to set the angle for it. But before we do, let's go in and we're going to use this sketch fillet tool. This is going to help us set the radius for the bend because we don't want a hard right angle. So we're going to come down here. We're going to select this line, and we're going to select this line by left clicking both when they highlight, and then we're going to draw that out. So let's go 1/2 inch, and we want to set that at 0.5. So we'll go 0.5, hit enter, there we go. And so you can see how it created the bend. So that is the radius here of the bend. I'm just going to drag that down so it's easier to kind of see. Go back and we're going to select the dimension tool again. So left click on dimension tool, come down, select the first line, come across, select the second line, and we want that set at 90 degrees. I'm going to go to isometric view so that we can kind of see the angle, the circle. Now let's go up here, select sweep path, make sure it's set at solid and new. It's asking for the faces to sketch what's going to be the outer surface. We're going to click on this one, on that circle we created. Now it's asking for the path. We're going to left click on that, it turns blue, and we're going to select each one of these. The first, the bend, and the end of it. All right, so now we have the edge of sketch 2. It shows. Let's go ahead and close that out. All right, so we're going to go up here to shell. It's asking for faces to remove. We're going to select the first, we're going to select the second, and we're going to change this to 0.24. And I'm going to close that shell out. What that's going to allow us to do, it's going to keep the thickness so this will be durable enough to hold our pipe, and it'll be the perfect diameter once we clean out the supports. Let's keep it this color. Let's just keep it blue. So we're going to disable that. We're going to create a new sketch, and we're going to select the front plane, center point circle by left click in the center of the plane, draw this one out. We want it to be the same size. I'm going to hit escape, and I'm going to go up and select the dimension tool, left click the outer part of the circle, and I'm going to set that at 1 inch. Same dimensions as the first. Now I'm going to close that out, create a new sketch, left click on sketch, select our plane, go back, select the line tool, highlight the center of that circle, left click, and then draw that out. Left click again, pull that away, and hit escape. I'm going to go to my dimensions tool so we can set the length. Highlight the line we just created, left click, draw that out. We're going to set this one at 2.5. Dimensions are set. We'll close this sketch out and we'll sweep that path. So I'm going to go to a different view. So that's isometric view. We're going to go left click on the sweep, make sure that solid and new are selected. We're going to come down here and select the outer part of that circle by highlighting, by hovering over it, and then left clicking. Now it says face of sketch 2, so we know it's selected it. It's asking us for the path. We're going to left click on sweep path, and we're going to click that again. Now it swept the path. Close that out. And you can see how we're starting to get repetition with a lot of the skills that we've already used. We're going to left click on the shell, so the outer part of the circle, left click. Let's scroll around to the other side, same thing, opposite side, but we need to set our dimensions here, 0.24, we know that'll work. It's going to be the thickness we need and the diameter of the hole that we'll need to slide our part in, and then close that out. So now I'm right clicking and holding it down and just turning that around and kind of looking at it. So that's our new part. Look at it in relation to the other part we just created. All right, so that's not where we want it. Let's go to transform, but instead of doing X, Y, and Z that allows us to kind of move it up and down, let's do rotate. So we need to find out, all right, what are we going to rotate? We're going to highlight the part we want to rotate. So it says part 4, right? And that's the part we're on. Now we need an axis. So if I select this and I select this one, this part's axis, it's not going to rotate the way I want it to. Let me see if I can get it to do it from here. I just wanted to show you. So what that's going to do is rotate it in this direction, right? I don't want that. So I'm going to select this axis. I'm going to scroll around here so that you can see what I'm doing. We want this one here. I know it's on the other side, so it's hard to see. And you notice it automatically took that blue part and rotated it up. Actually, it's rotating this one. Let's go back to our right view and you'll see. Not necessarily the direction I wanted. I wanted to go this way. So I can just take that arrow around and go 90 degrees back. There we go. And you could also top that in if you wanted to. Now this part is 90 degrees. Now we need to make sure it's in the right location out. We're going to go to top view. I'm going to go over and select transform. So this is our third one. I'm going to left click, but this time we're going to go X, Y, and Z because we really just need to move it in the X and Y axis. We're going to select the part we want to move. I'm just going to move this down just a little bit and over. Not much. Right? I want to keep it kind of centered up so it's not hanging off the edge. Kind of take it right up here so it fits in there nicely. Let's close that out and let's look. See what it looks like. Angle. We're going to go back to our isometric view. So now we have parts 3 and 4. And the reason I haven't named these yet is because we're going to merge these two parts. And since they're in the location we want, we don't have to do any more moving. We'll keep this simple. I'm going to left click this part to highlight it. That's the first one, the bottom. I'm going to left click part 4. Now you can see that they're both highlighted. I'm going to right click here and you'll see Bouillon. We're going to left click that and select it. Now we have a part. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Now it is just part 3. I'm going to rename it while we're here so I don't forget. 90-degree front base connection. I know that's a long name. So let's go ahead and change the color of this, of part 3. Let's go up and edit appearance just to give us repetition. And let's go red on this. That looks good. The next video we're going to take this and print it. So it's going to look a little different. We'll start off in Onshape and then we'll go into our slicing software.